October 27, 1997. Flight 427 vanished from radar over the Atlantic Ocean. No debris, no survivors. Just one haunting clue, a voicemail left by the pilot moments before the plane disappeared. The voicemail lasts 37 seconds. 36 seconds of garbled static, and one word. A word that experts say doesn't match any human language. A word that sounds wrong. For 26 years the tape was classified, locked away by governments, until last week, when an anonymous source mailed it to me. Along with a note, they erased the truth. Play it. I played it. The static, the scream of bending metal. And then, the voice. Not the pilot's, something colder, something that hissed, "You weren't meant to hear this." But the real mystery isn't the voice. It's the passenger manifest. Flight 427 carried 132 souls. Yet the security footage shows 133 boarding. A man in seat 14 billions. No ticket, no name, just a shadow. Last night, I received another voicemail. Same static, same voice. But this time, it said my name. So I'll ask you, should we play the tape? Or is some silence better left unbroken? October 27th, 1997, 9:14 p.m., Flight 427 departs JFK Airport, bound for Lisbon. Clear skies, routine checks, the cabin hums with the mundane, a baby crying in row 12, a businessman typing on his laptop, a flight attendant serving coffee. But at 9:57 p.m., everything changed. Air traffic control's final exchange with the pilot was calm, no distress, no warnings. Just Captain Holt's voice maintaining altitude, all systems green. Then silence, not static, not chaos, pure unnatural silence. Radar operators watched in disbelief. Flight 427's blip didn't fade. It split. Two signals, one for the plane, another, larger, faster, hovering beside it. Then, both vanished. No debris, no emergency transponder, just empty sky. The cockpit voice recorder tells a different story. Released under pressure in 2010, it reveals sounds no plane should make. Screeching metal, a door creaking open midair, and a voice. Not the pilot's. A guttural whisper. "You're ours now." Passenger accounts are worse. A woman in row swore she saw a man walk past her, toward the emergency exit. No one else noticed. No one else remembers. But the exit door was untouched. No alarms, no pressure drop. Then there's seat 14 billions. The ticket was purchased in cash at 8:47 p.m., 13 minutes before departure. The name? John Doe. The ID? A library card from a town that doesn't exist. Security footage shows a figure in a trench coat. But no face, just shadows. In 2003, a fisherman near Newfoundland hauled up a suitcase. Inside, a child's stuffed bear, a wedding album, and a cassette tape. The tape held 37 seconds of static, and the same whisper from the pilot's voicemail. The bear? It belonged to Emily Carter, a 6-year-old on IF Flight 427. The FAA buried the report, the CIA seized the tape, but in 2017, a retired air traffic controller broke his silence. That night, we tracked a second object, he said. It wasn't a plane, it wasn't a bird, it was hungry. He resigned the next day. His home burned down a week later. The voicemail was analyzed 17 times by the FBI. 17 times they redacted the same 3-second clip. But in 2019, a forensic audio engineer named Dr. Lena Marlowe leaked the raw file. What she found defies science. The waveform shows two voices. The pilot's, panicked, human, and a second, deeper, slower, speaking in reverse. When flipped, it says, "We've waited for this vessel, but here's the nightmare. The voice isn't on the tape, it's in the static." Dr. Marlowe isolated frequencies below 20 cents, inaudible to humans, infrasound, used by elephants to communicate miles apart. But this wasn't animal. It was a pattern, a language, and it repeated one phrase, "Open the door." The door isn't metaphorical. At 9:56 p.m., cockpit sensors spiked, cabin pressure dropped, but the emergency exits? Sealed. The black box recorded metallic scraping, like claws on steel, then laughter, high-pitched, childlike, from nowhere. In 2021, a cryptographer at MIT ran the static through AI. The result? A 12-minute loop of a nursery rhyme, Ring around the rosy, the plane falls down, dated 1692, the year of the Salem witch trials. But the true horror lies in the spectrogram. Hidden in the noise is an image. A face, no eyes, no mouth, just spirals, endless spirals. Neurologists say staring at it triggers seizures. 3 analysts quit after viewing it. In 2020, a leaked NSA document called it Vocal Phenomena X427, classified as a non-human entity. The cure? Erase all copies. But they missed one, the fisherman's tape, and now, it's here. 2 weeks ago, Dr. Marlowe vanished. Her lab? Empty, just a note. They're in the static, they're in the silence, don't listen. But we must, because the voicemail isn't a recording. It's an invitation. Seat 14 billions. The only ticket purchased in cash, minutes before Flight 427's departure. The name? The ID? A library card from a town erased from maps. Security footage shows a man in a trench coat and sunglasses. No face, just reflections. But here's what chills me. No one remembers him boarding. Not the gate agent, not the passengers. Only the camera. And the shadows. In 2001, a baggage handler named Frank Torres came forward. He swore he saw the man at the cargo bay, loading a crate stamped "Fragile, do not open." The crate wasn't on the manifest. The weight? 427 pounds. When asked, Frank said, "It wasn't heavy, it was alive." He disappeared 2 weeks later. The boarding pass tells a darker story. Forensic analysis revealed traces of ink used by the U.S. military in the 1950s. Classified projects, black budgets, and a serial number, X427. The same number stamped on the pilot's leaked voicemail file. Passengers near seat 14B reported nightmares for years. A woman in 12 Fahrenheit dreamt of a man with no face whispering coordinates, 37 degree 14 feet 0, 6 inches and 115 degree 40, 8 feet 40 inches W. Nevada. Desert. A place called Area 51. Her therapist called it stress. Her psychiatrist quit after hearing the tape. In 2015, a hacker group leaked airport security logs. Between 9:30 p.m. and 9:57 p.m., 14 billion seat sensor triggered 427 times. Weight fluctuations, from 0 pounds to then back to 0. As if something sat D down, stood you up, and vanished. The flight attendant, Maria Gonzalez, kept a journal. Her final entry reads, "He asked for water. His hands, wrong. Too many joints, too cold. When I returned, he was gone. But his seat, it was wet, like ocean water." Maria retired in 1998. She drowned in her bathtub in 2003. The water? Salt water. In 2020, a cold case investigator tracked the ticket purchase. The cashier described a man in a black suit. No eyes, no mouth. Just smooth skin. When asked for ID, he handed her a blank card. She said, "I couldn't refuse. His voice. It wasn't a voice. It was inside my head." The FBI interviewed 11 passengers. All recalled the same detail, a smell, rotting seaweed, sulfur, like the ocean floor. But Flight 427 vanished over the Atlantic. And in 2012, marine biologists found a 747-seat cushion in the Mariana Trench, 7 miles deep, where light doesn't reach. In 2018, a paranormal investigator claimed to contact Passenger X via EVP. The recording? Static. Then a voice, "We needed a vessel. The ocean is a door." When asked for proof, he played the tape. The next day, his studio burned down. The fire chief called it faulty wiring. The tape survived. Last week, I found a Polaroid in my mailbox. No postmark, no sender. Just a photo of seat 14 billions. Occupied. The figure, no trench coat, no sunglasses. A silhouette of spirals. Endless spirals. And a note, "You're next." In 2012, the CIA declassified 427 pages about Flight 427. Buried on page 263, a reference to Project Skywatch, a Cold War-era program tracking atmospheric anomalies. But the project's director, Dr. Robert Vollen, had another name for them, sky entities. Project Skywatch's files are 90% redacted, but leaked memos reveal a pattern. Between 1967 and 1997, 427 commercial flights reported Entity X on radar. Each vanished, each left a voicemail, and each Had a seat 14 billions, the radar blip following Flight 427 moved at 7,427 mph faster than any jet. It emitted no heat signature, no radio waves, just infrasound, the same frequency found in the voicemail. Engineers called it the hum. Survivors of similar events report hearing it before going mad. In 1999, a whistleblower named Thomas Price leaked Skywatch coordinates: 37 degree 14 feet 06 inches, 115 degree 48 feet 40 inches, Nevada desert, Area 51. Satellite images from 1997 show a hangar labeled X-427. Inside, a Boeing 747's tail fin, with no corrosion, as if it never crashed. The FAA's official report lists mechanical failure, but the black box's final entry contradicts this. Cabin intact, no structural damage, entity boarding. The voice? Not the pilot's. A technician who reviewed the tape said, "It sounded like gratitude." In 2021, a FOIA request revealed 43 seconds were erased from the voicemail. The gap? Precisely when the radar blip merged with Flight 427, engineers tried to recover it. Their findings? A loop of chanting in a dead language, Sumerian, translating to, "The door is open." In 1952, Project Skywatch logged its first entity over Washington, D.C., a UFO swarm tracked by radar and jets. Declassified tapes captured a pilot screaming, "They're not ships, they're alive." His plane vanished. His last voicemail? Static, and a whisper, "Ascend." Last month, a hacker group leaked a 2023 NSEM memo. XX-427 is active. New vessels needed. Coordinates matched Flight 229's path, the plane that vanished like 427. And guess what? Its voicemail has the same 43-second gap. March 15, 2023, Flight 229 vanishes over the Atlantic. Same coordinates as Flight 427. No wreckage, no distress call, just a voicemail. 37 seconds of static, and a whisper. But this tea time, we can hear it, and it knows we're listening. The pilot's final transmission was identical to Flight 427, entity inbound. Air traffic controllers recognized the phrase. They'd trained for it since 1997. Protocol: delete the recording, erase the radar logs. But one technician refused. His name? Frank Torres Jr., son of the baggage handler who vanished in 2001. Frank leaked the voicemail. Cleaner, sharper. The static resolves into words. "The door is open. Prepare the vessel." Forensic analysts identified the voice. Captain James Holt, pilot of Flight 427. But Holt died in 1997. Unless he didn't. Satellite imagery from March 15 shows a shadow trailing Flight 229. Larger, hungrier. Radar signatures match Flight 427's entity X, but faster, 14,427 mph. Engineers calculated the G-forces. Nothing organic could survive, but the shadow wasn't organic. Passenger manifest reveal a pattern. Seat 14 billions. Again, purchased in cash. The photo? A silhouette of spirals, identical to the Polaroid left in my mailbox. The FBI seized the file, but not before I saw the timestamp, 9:57 p.m. The exact minute Flight 427 vanished. In 2022, a Marine drone filmed something 7 miles deep in the Mariana Trench. A Boeing 747 door, untouched by rust. No serial number, just etched symbols, Sumerian cuneiform for ascend. The same word from Flight 427's voicemail. The same word whispered to me last night. A Flight 229 passenger's Fitbit survived. Data shows heart rate spiking at 9:56 p.m. Then, flatlines, all 132 passengers, except one. Seat 14 billions his pulse? 427 BPM for 43 seconds. Biologists say it's impossible. Cardiologists quit the case. Last week, a shadow appeared on my security camera. Trench coat, sunglasses, no face. It left an envelope. Inside, a boarding pass for Flight 427, seat 14 billions. Departure date, October 27, 2023. A flight that doesn't exist. Yet. I played the E-Flight 229 voicemail backward. The static became a chorus. Hundreds of voices, pilots, passengers, all vanished since 1997. All chanting, "The door is open. The door is open." Then a new voice, my own, saying, "You're next." They're not just in the sky anymore. They're in the static, in the silence, in the coordinates etched into our bones. Flight 427 was a warning. Flight 229 is a promise. And the next voicemail has my name. Last night, at 9:57 p.m., my phone rang. No caller ID, just static. I let it go to voicemail. 37 seconds, 36 seconds of silence, and 1 second of a voice I recognized. Captain James Holt, pilot of Flight 427, dead for 26 years. He said, "They're coming. Close the door." I traced the call. The number 555 to 0427, a dead end. But the GPS coordinates led to a hangar in Nevada, the same one from the satellite photos. Inside, I found Flight 427's cockpit door, untouched, no rust, no decay, and etched into the steel, my name. The door wasn't locked. It wasn't even closed. It was open, just a crack. Behind it, static. Not empty static, a living static. Humming, breathing, and shadows. Shadows with too many teeth. I ran. But the voicemail followed. A new message every night. Same time, 9:57 p.m. Same whisper. Same threat. Until last night. Last night. It changed. The static cleared. And I saw them. Spirals. Endless spirals. And a face. My face. The FBI confiscated my devices. Too late. The voicemail replicated. In every file, every backup, even cloud servers. A cybersecurity firm called it Viral Phenomena X427. Their recommendation? Burn the hardware. Burn it all. But I kept one copy, hidden, encrypted, and tonight, I'll play it for you. All 37 seconds. Because if I'm next, you deserve to know. You deserve to hear what's coming. The static isn't random. It's a map. Coordinates overlap with Flight 229's path, Flight 427's wreckage, and my home address. They're not just in the sky. They're here. In the walls, in the Wi-Fi, in the silence between heartbeats. 3 days ago, seat 14 billions appeared on my flight to Lisbon. The same seat, the same shadow. The gate agent said, "It's always been empty." But the sensor data, 427 pounds, then 0, then my name flashing on the departures board. I didn't board, but the flight took off. Without me, without anyone. An empty 747 vanishing over the Atlantic. And guess what? The voicemail changed again. You were supposed to be the vessel. Now, we'll come to you. So here we are, you, me, and this voicemail. Once you press play, there's no one hearing it, no one seeing it. But you've come this far, haven't you? Then listen closely. And tell Mem, do you hear it too?